Now to the former U.S. ambassador to the EU under President Barack Obama, Anthony Gardner. Ambassador, very good to have you. Thanks for taking the time.
Good to be here.
What happens now? There are even some who suspect, Ambassador, Brexit might not materialize. What do you think?
Well, I think your reporter got it right. There are a lot of options, and really not even the experts have a clue about what is going to happen. But I think that relatively certain is the fact that in Parliament there is no majority for a hard no-deal Brexit. So that option, I think, is unlikely, not impossible, but unlikely. A new no-confidence motion of the entire House of Commons, which is distinct from what we just saw yesterday, is also unlikely because it looks at Labour believes that it will not win such a no-confidence motion. So then you're left with the options that your reporter mentioned, none of which are probable, but that includes this Norway Plus option or a existing deal with some tweaks, which are not legally binding, but give confidence that the UK won't be stuck forever into this customs arrangement. And then there's a people's vote. So who knows? But can I just get back to this issue of a U.S.-UK free trade deal? Look, there's been a lot of loose rhetoric about this. I spent 3 years negotiating a deal or trying to get a deal over the line with the EU. These deals are very long and very complicated, and it would be the case also for a U.S.-UK deal. It will not be a big, beautiful, bold deal that will change things for the UK or for the United States. All of the issues we were negotiating with the EU will be on the table in a U.S.-UK free trade deal. Agriculture, government procurement, services, including maritime services. It will be complicated and long to achieve. And final point here, it will also be a relatively modest compensation for the lack of frictionless access to the single market of the EU.
You know, Ambassador, reading a lot of the British press and a lot of the coverage, our own included, you hear a lot of, just average British citizens say that if they were to vote again, they would vote the same way they did in June of 2016. No way of knowing if that would be the case. But I'm wondering if they're galvanized by reading all of these problems going on in some of these countries. Germany in a slowdown, if not a recession pretty soon. Italy, a budgetary mess. France, its own problems and the protests that have been going on. And they might say, if that's a club to be in, we don't want to be in it. What do you think?
Well, it's true. The continental Europe doesn't look so great at the moment. But let's remember that there are a lot of advantages to being part of the EU. And top of the list is, of course, access to this very large single market. All of the predictions, including from the government, also for think tanks that are independent, show that losing frictionless access to the single market will be very expensive for the United Kingdom. A hard no-deal Brexit would be the worst. The existing deal is the best of the available options. The Norway option would be even better for the UK because it would have a higher degree of access to the single market. But this is the positive for the UK, is being part of a very large market of 500 million people. You know, when Wilbur Ross was here, he made a point that I thought was fundamentally mistaken. He said to the British people, essentially, ditch all of those pesky EU regulations and basically adopt U.S. regulations, and you'll get a great free trade deal with us. The problem with that is that many, many U.S. businesses that have invested in the United Kingdom actually have done so because they want the UK to be aligned with EU regulations. In other words, the UK is a platform for U.S. businesses to access that market.
Well, of course, their argument is it's easier and more consistent when you have one set of rules. If this starts breaking up and you have different countries with a different set of rules, I can understand where they're coming from. But it sounds to me like March 29th, that's not a firm date here. Do you think that we get to that, they push it back, or what?
There's always a possibility of it being pushed back. But I think the EU would push it back if there seems to be a true possibility of getting to a deal within a reasonable time frame. Also, importantly, last week, the European Court of Justice in Luxembourg ruled that the UK can unilaterally withdraw its so-called Article 50 notice to leave the EU. So there will be increasing pressure to do that.
All right. Ambassador, thank you very much. Good catching up with you.
Thank you.